Hey everyone, it's me, Catherine of Sky. Um, Today I've got some sad news. My mom died a couple of days ago, and I'm. It's bad, you know. She was in decent health. I mean, she did have some chronic stuff, but she took her medications for all of that stuff, and it was very sudden. And you know, you'd be like, "But wait, I needed to ask you something. I needed to tell you something. Can I have just 5 more minutes?" And you can't. So, anyway, I've been dealing, there's a lot of bureaucracy to go on, a lot of phone calls to make. So, I've been dealing with that stuff. And, um, and also, I thought I had everything just already very tight with getting the bank account. Hopefully, we're going to get that on Tuesday. That's been in process for months, by the way. That is just a nightmare and a half. Um, and so then I need to close on my apartment as well. That's still not nailed down. I've got my furniture coming, as far as I know, the 1st of February. And oh my God, so much stuff. So, pardon me, I just got the hiccups. That's strange. But, yeah, it's so I also need to go back. Even though I have this tight schedule, I have to go back to the US and deal with her stuff um and her cat and things. So it's um it's rough. It's rough. um my blood relatives, and I'm saying that very specifically, my family is Matthias, and there are a few other wonderful, great friends that I have that I would call my family. Um, but my blood relatives have, when I called them on the phone to let them know stuff, they screamed at me. They were abusive to me, toxic to me. My sister accused me of causing my mother's death, and I'm like dumping her in a bad place. And I'm like, do you know how expensive that place was? How much staff was there? How much, like, she wanted to be there, and it was a perfect level of care for her. She didn't need round the clock nursing care. She wasn't confined to a bed. She was active. She could make her own food. She did all kinds of stuff. I mean, they had food made there already, so she enjoyed that, but like, she wanted to cook her own soup every now and again. And so she was living the life, and she was getting back into physical therapy and all kinds of stuff. And uh, so it's really hurtful when somebody just like accuses you. And I'm like, you think that I have my best friend for my entire life, decades, and you think I would put her in a bad place? Like, are you nuts? Like, what the actual? And we had plans, man. She was supposed to move to Sweden as soon as we got her paperwork sorted out. And I mean, I don't even think of her as my mom. She was literally my bestie for all of these years, and we lived together for, well, basically until last November. I had moved out on various occasions, like to go to university, but mostly we just enjoyed each other's company. She was cool, and I liked spending time with her. She was kind of amazing. I actually decided to write a book about things, and my mom was an extraordinary person who lived an extraordinary life. So I wanted to write about some of her stories, and also her my relationship with her in a very visceral, tell all kind of um, history, a book that represents the past, but also the feelings that I'm going through now, even discussing some taboo subjects that people do not talk about, because I think that I, um, because of my very close relationship with her, I don't have a lot of survivor's guilt. I'm very okay with the process of emotions. And I think that maybe telling the story will help people who don't have the skills to deal with emotions well, who may look at the story and say, "Oh, okay, that's kind of how you can look at this." Or, I mean, as an example, I'll be walking in town and think, oh, just have this moment of sadness. It feels almost like a waterfall, just water just coming up and flowing over your face, where it's just this emotion that brings tears, thinking about something that she liked or did or said, or oh my gosh, today I wanted to take a picture of this burger I bought. I bought a chili prawn cheeseburger. She loved shrimp, so I thought I'll get her chili prawn cheeseburger. And I took a picture, and then I'm like, there's nowhere to send it. There's no one to send it to anymore. She's not there. And so instead of dwelling on the sadness, you say, what would my ma have wanted? She would have wanted me to enjoy that damn cheeseburger, and I did. I had a fantastic cheeseburger. It was like 12 inches tall with the stick. There was a stick sticking out of it that had prawns and avocados and crab. It's like, wow, holy crap. So I was a proper sweet man. I ate it with a fork and knife. As Matthias would say, we are not savages. So anyway, but yeah, and other things like, I feel sad about things like, oh yeah, my mom just loves shrimp. What would she advise me to do? Just go and order Chinese food. Go and order a shrimp sandwich. Go and enjoy yourself. Go and feel free. Go and be joyous. And that's really what it comes down to. My mom many times told me all she wanted in her life was for me to be happy. And bless her, she did everything she could. She helped me in moving to Sweden, and she also provided that emotional support for me to be here and to break apart our status quo. I know that she was scared of being by herself. I mean, she wasn't actually by herself. She lived in her apartment alone with her cat, but there were people around her, and honestly, every time I talked to her, she was so excited to tell me about the people she was meeting. I feel like in the activities that we're doing, and I feel that sometimes when we were just at the house together, she would tell, oh, I don't need friends, I'm a loner, I don't need anybody, because I was encouraging her, but she still seemed like semi-miserable, but she didn't want to change it. So the last, I guess 2 months of her life, I think were the happiest she's been in the past 3 years since she had her stroke. Literally the happiest she's been, with meeting people and enjoying herself and just experiencing a different side of life that she didn't think she wanted. She didn't want friends. No. I was enough. She had me. I was her bestie, and we were kind of inseparable. I mean, I would call her every day, and message her during the day as well, text message, and she just, yeah. So, but, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Oh dear. Anyway, she wanted me to be happy. So that commandment kind of thing is in my heart. Like, her main goal in life was for me to be happy. And I'm going to honor that wish, And for me, happiness is not buying a new car or jewelry or anything like that. It is feeling content and being satisfied with what I have. And obviously, I will inherit from her, but, in case YouTube doesn't work out, it's like emergency money. It's emergency money, basically. And so, because YouTube is kind of volatile, and gosh darn it, but man, I appreciate everyone who supports me. It is, I say it in my videos, but I am so grateful for you. It's a hard industry, and I am ever honored that you watch my videos, that you enjoy them, and that, so many people have pledged money to me on Patreon and memberships, YouTube memberships, YouTube Premium, I think. I forget what it's called, but it's the YouTube no ad thing. Those, whose ever videos you watch, that money gets split up amongst the creators, and it makes a difference. It really does. So I thank people, everyone who supports me, because it's important. I mean, daily life, it's it's not a standard job where you get a regular salary. It's a different thing entirely. So it's kind of scary at times, kind of scary. But I'm trying to deal with things as best as possible. In a way, I think I'm still in shock. I just, so many times I want to share something with her. I'm thinking about her. Oh God, I need to send this paperwork to get her this and that. No, not needed anymore. I need to do this. No, it's not needed anymore. There's a very tenuous or strange finality to the situation where you have thoughts. Oh yeah, I want to introduce my mom to my new friends in Stockholm, or in Sweden, in my little town here. Oh, no. The thoughts just like hit a brick wall. They just stop because that possibility just doesn't exist anymore. And sometimes it takes a couple seconds, which is even worse. So people that you love, talk to them. Don't wait until they're almost dead or you wish you could have said something before they died. Don't have regrets. Just tell people what you're going to tell them. That is one thing I'm really thankful for, is that my mom and I shared everything. Like, we had no secrets. And I don't even feel like I need to have a service for her. I don't need it. I'm good. I've said everything I need to say to her. I mean, other than, hey, look at my giant shrimp sandwich. But like, I don't have that need to be like, oh my God, I must confess this or that thing, because we just shared all the time with each other. So I encourage you to do the same with your people, the people that you love. Don't have those regrets, because once they're gone, you can't get them back. No matter how much you ask the universe, it's not a thing. So don't put yourself in that position. It's not very nice to yourself. Be selfish. Tell them you love them. Tell them what you need to tell them. Whatever it is, be selfish. And be generous. Because you know what? Most of the time they want to hear what you gotta say. They want to engage with you. They want to bond with you. Because we're people. We gravitate toward each other. And it's a combination of feeling good for yourself, but also offering the opportunity for the other person to feel good and enjoy the moment of connection. So, yeah, talk to your people immediately. Do not wait. Don't wait, because tomorrow sometimes doesn't come. It just doesn't. Like I said, my mom's death was sudden. She had no acute illnesses. We had plans. I mean, she was going to live in Denver for about a year. Then we got the paperwork sorted, because bureaucracy takes a ton of time. And she was going to come and live in Sweden, and we were going to do things, and we were going to tour Europe to see all the places she's never seen before. And she was going to eat Swedish ice cream. That's her favorite thing to do. Favorite kind of food over here. We're going to buy shrimp sandwiches are piled to the ceiling. They have these mountainous shrimp sandwiches. It's crazy. We went to the Vassal Museum, my mom and I, last year, and you have the bread like this, and like the thing is like this high, literally that high, piled with shrimp salad and like a million shrimps in this sandwich. She was just like, oh, wow. Oh. So she couldn't even eat the whole thing. Silly Ma. So, but she loved it. She just loved it. But we had plans. I'm like, damn it, Ma, what's going on? How you die, man? How? You're not okay. This is not okay. Stop dying, man. This is your healer speaking. But I didn't get a chance, because I just got a call from the police just saying she died. And it's unbelievable, and it's shocking, and like almost mind-numbing, because it's not like she was ill with a disease where it was like, okay, it's coming, she's got a few weeks or a few months to live. No. She was fine. She was doing great. She was interested in the activities at her senior center. She was making friends. She would put her headband on her head. I sent her a couple of like Swarovski crystals, and she says, oh, they're my tiaras. And she would go down to the communal eating area. They have like this wonderful, like a restaurant style seating there, really nice place. And they would order off the menu and stuff, but she would sit with a stranger, someone she never met, and she would just share her presence. She was such an uplifting, positive person. But she would talk to the other person, get to know them, and just generally have a nice dinner with a new person. She was fearless. And I'm so proud of her, because I kind of thought she would be more like trying to be an introvert and not talk to anybody based on what she had said to me before. Like, oh my God, I'm a loner. I don't want to talk to people. But no, she just blossomed, and she shared her life with people, and they loved her too. The staff, I talked to several people at the senior home, the staff people, and they were just crying because they loved her too. Even though she'd only lived there like 2 months. But she made such an impression on people because she was such a ray of sunshine, and she was funny and smart, and she didn't have a mean bone in her body. Even when people wronged her, and goddamn did they wrong her at times. Her own family members were abusive to her, and yet she forgave them. She wished them no ill will, even though they were horrible to her. Toxic people are horrendous, but yet almost saintly in her demeanor. She never wished anyone ill. Instead, she was always a voice for forgiveness and for moving on from stuff and for cultivating good wishes and not dwelling on the things that hurt us. So, in like kindergarten or first grade, they sometimes ask you, you know, what superhero would you like to be like? Or who do you want to be when you grow up? And a lot of kids, they would do a superhero, or they would say a character from history like Abraham Lincoln or George Washington, or I want to be, like Buzz Aldrin, or I want to be like, somebody, rock star, whatever. And when they asked me, I always wanted to be like my mom. Because she was so kind and so good to people. I could think of no better person to be like. So, I have tried to be like my mom in many ways. The one notable exception is I refuse to take shit from other people, and I'll call them out on it because I have to stand up for myself, because my childhood was not great and I was walked on, and I need to draw that line because nobody deserves to be treated badly. So that's where I have to say that I disagree with some of how she was, but that's me. She lived a different life, and at least in the last couple of decades, we had a peaceful life together, and we shared our cats together, and I'm gonna miss her so much. So anyway, I thought I would do a vlog about stuff. I know I talked about it in my videos, but in case you missed the Factorio, that's kind of what's been going on, and I've been dealing with the bureaucracy and other things you want to avoid, like calling the coroner's office or calling the funeral home, things which are outside of my normal everyday life and feel really not great. Though people there have been quite, they're very kind and nice. A far cry from my relatives who were literally screaming at me on the day my mom died. So I ain't got no time for that kind of bullshit. I'm done with those people. Not interested. I won't be treated that way. But anyway, and there's still like she wanted to be cremated and just go back to the earth. She said, cremate my body and spread the ashes where they can grow flowers, which is a lovely, poetic sentiment. And so I may have to deal with these blood relations regarding that, but I'm going to be sneaky, I think. And I have another solution in mind. And I definitely think that my mom would be okay with it. So I'm gonna try to avoid the toxic people as much as possible. So, but wish me luck. I still have to go to the US soon. And that's hell, man. It's like you gotta be awake for like 30 hours with all the plane and travel and layovers and getting to the airport 3 hours early and all kinds of crap like that. It's like, oh my god. My old set of like noise canceling headphones stopped working. Like it wouldn't play music anymore. I'm like, dude, I googled it, so I can't figure anything. So I bought a new set, which were a lot cheaper, but honestly, I don't plan to do a lot of air travel. So, and the ones I had initially were Bose. I'm really surprised they kind of keeled over, because I've had them for like 4 years, but I only use them on airplanes. So maybe 4 trips a year. That seems like a very short amount of time that they lived. So, not impressed, Bose. Not impressed. So I bought kind of a different brand this time and cheaper ones. So the sound is good. I need the noise canceling because the sound of the jets in the airlines is horrendous for my head. So I need that quiet. And on an airline, I don't do anything but listen to music. That's all I do. I don't watch TV, whatever they have there. I don't care. I just listen to music and try to sleep in vain. I never get to sleep on an airplane. It's just like a flaw, a fatal flaw that I have. Jeez Louise. So I'm not looking forward to that. And I probably only will stay like 2 or 3 days because I just need to get stuff out of her apartment and that's it. I don't need anything else. And well, I also have to, make sure that Cat is okay and stuff. And but two international, over, what do you call it? Intercontinental flights, over the Atlantic flights. 2 of those within the space of a week. The butt hurt index is going to go up to like, I don't know, 153,000.5. That's what I think. That's what I estimate. So, anyway, I'm sorry that I've rambled on this long. I kind of wanted to just tell you the news and talk about my mom a little bit. But I hope your week is going better than mine. My friend told me, she says, when I listen to people's stories about, especially bad things happening, I try to empathize with the person. She says, and when I listened to your story, Catherine, I'm like, oh, F. Now, she did say the rest of the F word, but I want to make this family friendly. So I'm at the OF index of bad shit happening. Wow. Hey, we're good at something. Hooray. But yeah, topping the charts at the stress level and at the where is my life going level. I thought I had enough stress and then the universe chucks more at me. I'm honestly grateful I have very few relatives left to die or to do weird shit that affects me. That's actually a plus at this point. I know that sounds horrible, but it's weird. Life has been weird. So, anyway. So that's what's been going on with me. I've tried to work on stuff. I'm still taking these antibiotics, and I think they make me really sleepy. But I am trying to do stuff. I'm trying to build up a buffer of episodes for when I go to the US because I don't have time to record there. I just can't. I don't have the ability, right? I just don't have what I need. I can't record on the plane, for example. I can only do that when I'm in I'll be in my mom's apartment. So I can only do that there. Not in airports because it's way too loud. And I don't have anywhere to sit with the mouse because airports are great, man. Great. They have charging spaces, which sometimes are by the gates where you sit, but there are no tables there. There's just chairs. Where you do have tables, like in the food court, they don't have charging spaces. I've only seen one airport that has charging spaces by the food tables. One. And that was, where was that? Was it Chicago? Might have been Chicago, actually. But they want to encourage people not to sit at those spaces and take up space and time and whatnot. And I'm like, Most airports have these huge corridors between gates and stuff. Just fill the whole damn place with corridors and charging points. Like, how hard is that, dude? Like, come on. You don't have to have just tables in the eating areas. You should have tables for people who want to use their laptops. It's just like there's so much empty space in airports. You can definitely afford to put them. And in airports, a lot of times you have like these travelators that can get you from gate to gate quickly. People walk on those lines to get to places, meaning there's a lot of empty space where people don't walk. So just put the tables there. Modernize your airports, for God's sake. And also, the other thing is because my feet are bad, or I have bad wounds on my feet, I need to rely on getting some kind of disabled help, like wheelchair assistance. And sometimes the airports are less good than others at that particular task. So yeah, we'll see how that happens and how much foot damage I do on these things. On a happier note, I'm seeing a nurse here. I won't say her name, but she's a sweetie, and I see the same nurse every time, not like the U.S. So she can keep track of my progress. And last time I impressed her with my healing rate, and this time I went, she's like, oh, "It's magical." I'm like, "Wow, cool." So I had this really deep wound that is healing. And she says, a wound like that can take about a year to heal. She says, but I'm looking at this and I don't even know how long to estimate. So I'm like, yes, we're winning on one front. Oh my God, we're winning. One of my wounds has healed, so now I'm down to 2, one on each foot. But they are healing, so that's good news. So. Anyway, remember to talk to a person you love. Thank you so very much for joining me. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time.